So this is the contradictory statement that Billie Joe gave about driving her to the FBI and her turning herself in, because this person just asked that it must have been Shay, because Shay was the only one that got the interview with Leilani and Billie Joe. So this is Shay from Channel 22, and she said whenever she had interviewed Leilani indicated that she would be willing to turn herself in. And did you give her an opportunity to turn herself in? And here's what the police chief said.
Okay.
No. So no, they didn't allow her to turn herself in. They went and picked her ass up.
Yeah, they went and picked her ass up at the FBI because that's where Billie Joe took her. And then the police picked her up.
There's a whole lot of BS going around on the internet. Oh, I always just thought Leilani was the only lying-ass one. But apparently, Billie Jawbone likes to do her share of lying, too, okay?
How? Look at you. How are you making fun of someone? Look at you. Okay, go ahead.
Now, I don't know what went down yesterday where she was...
Exactly right. You don't know what went down. Because you're about to spout a lot of bullshit.
I pick her up at about 11:30, 11:45, in between that time. I pick her up. I take her to Chinatown buffet restaurant so she can have a good meal. And I take her to the FBI office. And me and Beth sit there for 4 hours. And in that 4 hours, I got to spend some time with Leilani. And I was able to talk with her. And just before they arrested her, I went inside, I hugged her, and I prayed, and I had to step back from her. There was a lot I said, but I can't say it again at this point. And I held my hands on her arms, and I just looked at her in her eyes, and I told her that she's going to be in dark places. And it's going to be hard, but this is a walk that she has to walk alone. And whenever I walked away from her, they started reading her rights so they could take her to jail. And I went and got in the car, in less than 5 minutes from where they are to my house. Less than 5 minutes, it was already all over the news. It was all over everything.
She's saying she turned her in, she's trying to play hero, blah, 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 blah. I'm not buying it. I'm totally not buying it. Not only that...
You know what? You don't have to buy it. Nobody cares whether you buy it or not.
She's going to find herself in jail, okay?
Oh, my goodness.
She's going to find herself in jail for threats and things of these nature. Carla,
Things of these nature? What the fuck does that mean, things of these nature?
Because when he needed them to come out there and be biased in nature, call us...
He's thanking them for not being assholes, like you. He's thanking them for trying to keep the integrity of the investigation, unlike you.
Heckler, cover his ass, slap his knob.
Oh, Betty, you're such a cunt. Slob his knob, you're trash. You're a reporter, really? I'm trying to think, who have I heard? Which professional reporter have I heard say, slob your knob? Who says that? Barbara Walters, I think, once said to Donald Trump, does Melania slob your knob? Yeah, I think that's what I heard. Trash.
They did that for him because, in journalism, you get both sides of the story. Mm-hmm. They never even attempted to reach out with me. They were driving his message.
Because you're not a journalist. You're just somebody out there with a fake badge. Why would they reach out to you? You're no one, Betty, Andra. The cops have a good rapport with the local reporters. That's how the local reporters know what's going on. That's why they were there when the FBI brought Leilani over to the police station. Because they knew you didn't break shit. They had the breaking news, not you. Nor will you ever have breaking news. You don't know how to act like a normal human being.
In his narrative, and he's saying press, we want unbiased press. We want people that are going to tell us what we what we need to know, not what we want to hear. And we don't like our press being bought and paid for by our government officials, such as a police chief. We like
bought and paid for. Okay, Betty, you can attract more flies with honey. Have you ever heard that?
3 minutes, please.
Andrew Griffin, Manatee County, for the record. So, I'm kind of disappointed here. We have a mayor that is stealing our tax money. This is what it amounts to. She's stealing money from us. She has no authority to do so. She has no standing to do so. And the one opportunity we have to get her in check, Mr. Cruz, you want to be a pushover? I'm sorry, I don't like coming down on you.
because their media failed horribly.
No, they didn't. They're asked to have integrity, ethics. It's required, actually, for a reporter and a journalist that works for professional outlets. That's why, if you don't think they know more than you all the time, you're wrong. But they don't put it out there because of the integrity of the investigation, one, and two, they wouldn't get any more information if they did. It takes one time to blow it. You're a beat reporter, if you're a reporter, a local reporter, and you go and blab something that the police have told you that involves an active investigation and that you're not supposed to, or they ask you not to, you're never going to get more information. That's the rapport they have. Whether you like it or not, that's the rapport they have. It's not biased. There's really not a team Leilani and a team Bullhorn Betty. Nobody thought she was a suspect before you got there. So everybody figured she did something or was involved. So there was an active investigation. Oh my God, you're so dumb.
Their media failed horribly. And while people are beating up Brett Covington, I don't know him well, but the only reason why, he may not even be a Bullhorn Betty fan. He may not even like me.
Trust and believe. Brett is not a Bullhorn Betty fan. Trust and believe that. People can't even figure out what you are, much less who you are. Oh my God, the delusion.
He may not even have any respect for me. But you know what?
What?
He was the only one really trying to find the truth. He was the only one that was out in front of that Sandcastle Inn when Dolly and I located Leilani and her.
Yeah, thank you. He was there when you got there. You did not find Leilani. Brett was already there, which makes my point. He knew before you did because he has inside information, especially being a local reporter. He knows everybody. So you can drop that lie if you don't mind.
Her mother. He was the only one out. There was no other news crew out there looking, trying to dig up information other than the YouTubers and, quite frankly, Brett.
Yeah.
So, I don't believe he was out there trying to get a name for himself. I believe he took his training and tried to be the best.
It's called an assignment. That was his assignment, Leilani. This case, it's an assignment. He gets paid. He doesn't have to beg for a microphone or a camera.
While he may not respect me, may not like me, may not even know who I am, right? He has respect from Bullhorn Betty for the work that he did. Because at the end of the day, there was no other news station out there trying.
He has respect for Bullhorn Betty for the work that he did. Sometimes you just can't fit that round peg into the square hole, Betty.
To truly find the answers and trying to truly find and get these people on the record like Brett Covington was doing. So, Buffington, not Covington, Buffington, Brett Buffington. Sorry.
Yeah.
But he was the only one. So no, you're.
It's not national news that they went to eat. That they went and stayed at a hotel because a bunch of reprobates were in front of their house, screaming and yelling. They went to eat from a hotel. Probably wasn't a kitchen in the hotel room. I mean, that's not national news.
Crying with joy because your media covered your ass. I'm sorry, that's not what media's purpose is for, Chief Hadley. I apologize about that. but I totally disagree. The garbage that was pumped out there, the lack of advising the community of what was truly transpiring for a 20-month-old baby that disappeared in their community was despicable. Despicable.
You have no idea how an investigation is done. You and Dolly both were doubting he was going to be found in the landfill. This man knew that he would be found in the landfill. Regardless of what you think or how ignorant you are of the law, the body is what was needed to make sure he had a good probable cause. It's not 48 hours. It's not CSI. Shit doesn't get done in an hour while you have a drink.
Mainstream media out there should be ashamed and appalled with their behavior because they have no integrity. None.
Okay.
Now, I was cussing at the police chief on my live. People will say, "Hey, you aren't having no." That's
What?
not even ethical standards. Like that's professional standards. I violated professional standards, right?
Right.
For being unprofessional, right? I didn't lie to my public. I just cussed the.
Yeah. Well, name another reporter that curses the police chief on their day off, that stands outside with a microphone going out to your however many thousand, 20,000 people, mostly, gawkers. Which reporter does that? Screams at suspects and victims and at the police chief and curses him. Which one? I'll wait.
Police chief out, and I'd do it again. I'll do it anywhere.
Yeah, you will.
When you ain't doing what you need to be doing, you're going to get heat from Bullhorn Betty. This is America, and I have a right to do that. As Police Chief Hadley clearly explained.
You know what I have a right to do? Anybody has a right to do is come stand in front of your house with a bullhorn and scream at you for 8 hours. Go in front of your mom's house and scream for 8 hours. Go in front of anybody's house they want to and scream. Would it make sense? No, not really. But we could. It's not always what you can do, it's what's right.
He understood my perspective. He understood the community's perspective. He didn't address it, and he didn't close that worry box. That's on him. He had plenty of ammunition at his disposal to lock Leilani up way before this. But again, we're thankful that his police department have finally...
I seriously want you to at least talk to someone that it's not JLR, okay? He was a jailhouse pretend lawyer that wrote a bunch of bullshit lawsuits, never even made it past the first round of motions. He's not an attorney. I know he gives you advice because it's clear that he does. You don't know anything about criminal law. Nothing. You don't know anything about investigations. You don't. Just because I don't think you read, speak to an attorney and listen to them. You wanted him to arrest her. He had no probable cause to arrest her. Just because you think it is. You don't know anything. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. No one cares what you think. He certainly doesn't care what you think, and you didn't sway him one bit.
Made an arrest, and we can't take that away from them. We also can't take away from them this huge development that they found Quentin in unthinkable circumstances. Mm-hmm. It was due to their dedication, their tenacity, and their passion for the truth that was able to bring Quentin Simon home.
So what's the bit?
I would have died to know that little boy's resting place was a landfill. Died.
Okay.
I have one person's opinion of the behavior of the local media out there. And I want to say to every local media...
You're not media. Anybody can walk out there and say, hey, I'm media. Tell me everything. You're not media. You're not trusted. You're just not. I don't know why you think and you're not even from there. Out there calling Billie Joe a whore and calling them crackheads and screaming and playing babies crying. Standing in front of cars, blocking them. You caused all that. You and Dolly.
We need to move this on. We need to work with the mayor out there. She doesn't need to get a darn thing at this point. And I will be up here each and every time. And Mayor, if you're listening, if you really want me to get involved, you're not going to like me. I'm going to shut down your beach.
Because you know why? The little boy in the landfill. They wanted justice for him more than they wanted to be heard as a reporter. I don't know what you think their job is. They report the news. What news was there that you're mad about, that they didn't tell us? Just because they ignored you, you have a red ass. Oh, God, I can't think of that.
They were too busy calling us hecklers and being biased and lying to their audience, and their audience knew they were being lied to. Shame on the local media out there.
See, it all comes back to Betty. Being called a heckler. You were a heckler. What were you protesting? Wanting her to go to jail? Well, you know, you were asking something that wasn't going to happen. Not legally. What else were you protesting? When you came down there, you didn't know she was a suspect. I don't even know why you went down there except to see Dolly again. You were heckling.
Not concur with his opinion of their local media. Yes, your local media slobbed your knob. They'll get the next interview.
Slobbed your knob. That means they slobbered on his dick. This is the trash that thinks she's a reporter, that thinks this man would talk to her. Trashy ass. Mm-hmm.
With you on the next case, and let's hope Bullhorn Betty isn't there, because I will steal those ratings as well. Your media out there sucks.
You didn't steal any ratings. Honey. I don't know who told you this or what bad math you use. You stole no ratings. One of their videos on YouTube had over 300,000 views. One. The ones with the lowest views were the ones covering your ass standing on the street. That video on YouTube is just one place where they had ratings. They're also on the news, local news. So the people watching on YouTube was 300,000. Yours, I think the most was going to be generous. I think 40 maybe. And yeah, you didn't get more coverage than the local news. Who told? I would love to know who told you that, or did you figure it out yourself?
You know, giving us some deference when we needed some deference, and so I just wanted to say thank you for your work that you do every day.
Yeah, thanks for covering his ass.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Stop. Go to another city council meeting and yell. Make you feel better. Go yell at some people.
Thanks for covering his ass, media. That's what he was trying to say. If you didn't read between those lines, I don't know. If donations are made, please make to the funeral home to be used for funeral only. Yes, we are going to be advocating for that. I am not going to promote any Cash Apps, Venmo, PayPals for this child's funeral. No GoFundMes, no nothing.
Who cares what you're going to do? Nobody should give you anything for this child. You're not related to them, and you called his grandmother a whore 20 times a day. Why don't you stay the fuck out of it? And who is Sherry Hogan? If donations are made, please make sure. People will make their donations to where they want to make their donations, but not to this bitch.
I am not going to promote anything unless it is a trust that is governed and maintained by an attorney, or the funeral home will take direct payment.
Okay, everybody, remember this. It has to be in the trust of an attorney. So if she says, ask for one donation for this, that's what it has to be, period. For her side, or whatever.
From our audience, we will not supply Billie Joe 1 red cent for her crack pipe. Ain't happening under Bullhorn Betty's watch. These other 8 channels.
Girl, you're just exhausting as fuck. I just need a sign. Something. I know there are grandiose narcissists, but she takes the cake. Like, what's above that? Or below it? I hear Bullhorn Betty one more time.
They want to go and support this monster. They can go ahead and support it. I support this baby, and anything to make sure that this baby has a beautiful funeral, I'm on board for. But I do not want 1 red cent going to Billie Joe after the fact.
Well, that's not for you to say, unfortunately, because, again, you're nobody, Betty, sitting in your little trash hole. You have no say about it. None. Do you think that woman would let you anywhere near a funeral? I'm thinking not.
If we have overages, those should come back to the people.
What are you talking about, overages? You'll have nothing to do with it. This is a great shot.
Be donated to a nonprofit like Missing and Exploited Children.
Okay.
But we are not going to supply Billie Joe with electric.
It's for Quentin. It's not for Billie Joe. You're a cunt.
Money, crack money, beer money, bar money. Ain't happening. She should be in jail.
Oh, you're so deplorable.
I finally got to see her cuffs. Awesome.
So detestable.
You can't do things.
Betty, honestly, you can't keep...
Moving forward from this point, any more special elections, any more 1 mil, any more voter suppression, I don't care if the teachers' salaries are attached, I don't care if I bankrupt a teacher, I will no longer support it moving forward. You guys do it the right way or don't do it at all.
You have no compassion for anything except, I don't even think it's money. It's you. Your huge gaping hole of insecurity that can't be filled. So you just shove it in every day. You do it yourself. And it's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
Things in the South, the way you can do things in the North. Learned lessons from this, Hadley. This is the Bible Belt. The Southerns are some of them.
And these people, your chitter-chatters, I sounded just like my mother again. They're an echo chamber. They're repeating back. I see it in chats all the time. They're repeating back to you what you're saying. Because they're needy. They need for you to like them. And they just fill that hole. And there's not enough, but they keep trying. Fill that insecurity hole.
God-fearing, salt of the earth people. Yeah, absolutely, Peaches. Absolutely. I'm from the South, born and raised. I mean, you don't get any more South than Florida. Like we stick out past Texas. You don't get further south than Florida. And we're Florida. How's our likes doing? We should have well over 1,000 likes, and we have just slightly under 800 likes. You guys, we need help with the likes. So if you guys are here, we're covering a lot of this. We just went over the press conference with Chief Hadley. Again, we broke it yesterday and ran this live yesterday. We definitely can't.
No, you didn't break it live. Breaking means you broke the story. You did not break the story. You weren't the first one. Stop saying it. It was breaking news all over. Breaking the story is a different thing, and you did not break the story. Okay? I have to take breaks.
Pam is saying, can we reach out to Bubba? I want somebody to reach out to Bubba, or at least give me his information so I can reach out to him. I'd like to talk to him about some things that I think he should consider.
Earlier in the live stream, she said Bubba should sue Billie Joe for wrongful death. Okay. Maybe he should sue Danny too. Maybe he should sue the brothers too. Anybody that was in the house, maybe he could sue them. And where was he? I forget. Where was Bubba? Oh, he didn't see Quentin at all. I think they said twice in 6 months or something. So yeah, that'll go over well. I'm sure he'll get an attorney for that. And what are you going to sue her for? I want to sue you. I want to figure out
like
something.
The video, guys. Absolutely. Momo, what's up? Like it. Hit that smash button.
Actually, I wish you would sue me. Betty, hear this. Please sue me. I'm sure you can figure out something. Please sue me. Dolly had 5 chances and blew every one of them. I bet you can figure it out.
Be able to go to every single court proceeding, but the ones I do go to, I will have that shirt on.
Why?
I will have that shirt on.
Why? Because that's the kind of shit JLR does, handing out Jell-O at a Bill Cosby trial. Because that's what he did. And he did it for clout. You want to wear a shirt for clout when nobody gives a damn. Nobody that counts gives a damn. A shirt does nothing. It's all about Andra. Look at you. You're pathetic. Pathetic. You're
And
pathetic.
I really do hope if anybody's got any dirt against Billie Joe that they can have her arrested on, go out and file complaints at your earliest.
Oh my God. Billie Joe's not going to jail. Why do you keep on? Everything will come out at trial. Why don't you do something else? Leave her alone. You don't know the circumstances. I'm sure your mother, when you were 16 and doing whatever you did that made her get a restraining order on you, she took you back over and over again. All the shit you did, she kept taking you back. I would venture to say that if you killed your child, your mother would still love you, and you'd have to tell her eventually, but you're such a good liar, you would lie to her, and she wouldn't know, because Andra's a liar. How do I know if she's telling me the truth? She would struggle with it. And then would she turn you in, ever? Billie Joe did. She told her daughter she had to turn herself in. That's hard for a mother to do, and you give her no credit for that. Your mother enables your bullshit on here, and you're doing all kinds of harm.
Convenience. I want to see Billie Joe behind bars. She deserves to be behind bars too. She is.
You know what? I think we should get dirt on you and get you behind bars for your past. Maybe those cases that all they need is more evidence to reopen. Maybe your ex has some evidence. Maybe he could be, does he have a cash app? Maybe we could help him decorate his apartment or his house. Give some money to his grandkids. Just some dirt. That's all we want. Some dirt to get you arrested for your past crimes. What do you think?
Just a despicable woman.
Because you're despicable. I would love to see you in handcuffs. Love it. Because you deserved way more than you got from that justice system in Manatee County.
A despicable woman that has ruined an entire family's lives because of her disgustingness. And that's the way I feel about her. I have no respect for that woman.
Who
None.
cares? Do you think she cares?
None whatsoever. So I pray that they go, if they haven't gotten him all, they were planning on being out there to December 9th. I hope that they stay out there to collect any other additional remains from him or additional evidence from him. But I am also cognizant of the amount of money that it takes to do an operation like that.
Andra, what are you going to say? You think they're going to they have what they need as evidence? Do you think it will be money that they quit? Wherever they found that evidence, I'm sure there's more. And they won't quit because of money.
And so, you have, at this point, now that they have him and her behind bars, they do have to start taking into consideration, the cost effectiveness of it. Do they have what they need to proceed, or do they need additional information? That should be their next thought, because if anybody knows me, I don't like wasteful spending. I don't like it. They are struggling with money in this county. And if they don't need to go back out at the landfill, take those resources, those financial resources, and
Well, who do you think you are? Honest to God. Honest to God. Who do you think you are? You've gone to a few city council meetings. You got the budget offline. I've done that before, doing research. And you looked at their numbers and decided you would go and yell at them about a couple of line items. And now you're going to tell Chatham County, where you don't even live, what they need to do in an investigation of a murdered child, which you have zero experience in. Why don't you shut up and go to the next whatever case? But this is done. Okay? You've done enough damage. You've done enough disrespect. Let the professionals handle it. You're just a chick with a pink teenage girl's gamer chair in a dumpster room. That's all you are, Betty. I'm sorry. I know you want to be more, but you have to work at it.
I am to getting better officers on the road, better trained, quality officers on the road. That's what I would prefer. That's what I would like to see come out of this, to be honest with you. Now, if they need the evidence.
God help me. I mean, honest to God, I try to watch these. I look at her face and the shit that comes out of her mouth, and I don't know where she came from. I don't know anyone like her. I've had employees, I've been employed, I've had friends, acquaintances, met people in the grocery store, at bars. Lots of years of experience with people. And I have never seen anyone like her. She's like a combination of all the idiots. Maybe that's, if I could put some together, I could come up with one Andra. But is it in her? Does she believe what she's saying?
Let's talk about the sheriff's office. On April 7th, we have officers rounding up cattle on US 41 in Palmetto. Yesterday, I observed 2 officers sitting in their vehicle on 5th Street East, 2 officers chatting, laughing, and seemingly no problem in the world. Then I turn the corner, and there's yet another officer in the Wells Fargo parking lot. So we have 3 officers sitting on their duffs while they're screaming they're overwhelmed. I am sick of the lies.
Part of the protest group?
I'm with the media, and I've been out there documenting the media.
Shows her badge. Oh my God.
Bullhorn Betty, that we've been accused of causing all this havoc out here when we have not.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to put some information out because it's going to affect, if any of you are protesting, it's going to affect how you protest. Okay?
We're all going home. We're going home tomorrow, but I will be back to document it under my professional capacity as a media professional.
Okay, no worries.
I would love to see his thought bubble.
It's all right.
Again, an ordinance came out, okay, and it's effective today, all right? So I wanted to read this to anyone so we can put it out, because like I said, it's going to affect how you protest, okay?
Sure.
So what the county has done is they've enacted the parade public assembly ordinance. It's actually been in effect, but they're making it in effect for this, okay?
Sure.
Basically, it just says if you're doing a public assembly, which is meeting, demonstration, picket line, rally, GAFIS, and you get your permit, okay, then you can come back and then you can do your normal thing. Okay? Yes, ma'am. And
That's
then
so unconstitutional.
Is she crying? Oh, Molly. You need to get help, babe.
Well,
No, we don't feel safe with you guys. I mean, to be honest with you, you guys have used your intimidation to run us out of town, but I'm coming back after I seek counsel by an attorney, and I'm going to be going through all your county ordinances and everything like that.
Oh my God, these cops. Bitch, we just want to get back in the car and go get something to eat. Oh my God. Andrew, you're an embarrassment. Complete
I'm
embarrassment.
going to be reviewing them, and I adamantly want to state for the record for you guys that I do not believe a county ordinance supersedes your state law, your state constitution, or the U.S. Constitution. But with that said, that's just my, again, I will get a proper counsel before I come back out here.
Could fucking read something. How about that? You're gonna hire a lawyer to read to you? A paralegal? Investigative journalist? But you need to hire a lawyer to read this to you? Well, maybe it's because you look up Georgia the country rather than Georgia the state.
So this is why I'm here, right here.
no, that's not true, ma'am. But anyway, we just don't want it to affect you in that way, okay? So I just wanted to put that out so everyone knows, because like I said, we don't want that to happen. We do
Now,
want
have
you to protest.
these ordinances, just out of curiosity, have they gone through your legislature, or are they enacted by your county commission?
Yes, they're in.
Oh, the city council meetings are paying off.
Acted by the county, okay? And they've been in effect, but, they just starting to enforce that, okay, for this,
Right.
okay?
Of course.
Yep.
Everyone understood?
Yep, and tell your police chief I'll be waiting for my bracelets when I get back into town.
Okay, yes.
Have a great day.
Hey, I have a quick question for y'all.
Yes, sir.
Unrelated. It's, some of my property was taken by the Chatham County Police. Where did I take my property?
What kind of property was it?
It was a baton and a taser.
Okay. It should be at our West Chatham location, which is 295 Police Memorial Drive.
Should a felonious hobbit have a taser?